If you're changing the world, you're working on important things. You're excited to get up in the morning. If you have a product that's really gaining a lot of usage, then it's probably a good idea. We want Google to be the third half of your brain. I am sometimes something of a lazy person, so when I end up spending a lot of time using something myself, as I did with Google in the earliest of days, I knew it was a big deal. The name was supposed to be Google, which is the mathematical term for a 1 followed by 100 zeros. It was before the Google spell checker existed. Today, if you want to access a typical out-of-print book, you have only one choice: fly to one of a handful of leading libraries in the country and hope to find it in the stacks. We saw that 1,000 results weren't necessarily as useful as 10 good ones. I'd like to get to a state where people think that if you've Googled something, you've researched it, and otherwise haven't, and that's it. Technology is an inherent democratizer. Because of the evolution of hardware and software, you're able to scale up almost anything. It means that in our lifetime, everyone may have tools of equal power. We believed we could build a better search. We had a simple idea that not all pages are created equal. Some are more important. When it's too easy to get money, then you get a lot of noise mixed in with the real innovation and entrepreneurship. Tough times bring out the best parts of Silicon Valley. Lots of companies don't succeed over time. What do they fundamentally do wrong? They usually miss the future. Too few people in computer science are aware of some of the informational challenges in biology and their implications for the world. We can store an incredible amount of data very cheaply. Google actually relies on our users to help with our marketing. We have a very high percentage of our users who often tell others about our search engine. The only way you are going to have success is to have lots of failures first. Obviously, everyone wants to be successful, but I want to be looked back on as being very innovative, very trusted and ethical, and ultimately making a big difference in the world. The kind of environment that we developed Google in, the reason that we were able to develop a search engine, is the web was so open. Once you get too many rules, that will stifle innovation. Solving big problems is easier than solving little problems. Before Google, I don't think people put much effort into the ordering of results. You might get a couple thousand results for a query. We saw that 1,000 results weren't necessarily as useful as 10 good ones. When I was growing up, I always knew I'd be in the top of my class in math, and that gave me a lot of self-confidence. If I were seriously interested in something important to me, I wouldn't just click on the first search result, read it, and take it as God's word. It's a romantic notion that you're going to have one brilliant idea and then everything is going to be great, but the execution and delivery are what's key. Currently, we don't have plans on conquering the world. It is ironic, since whenever I have met with our elected officials, they are invariably thoughtful, well-meaning people. And yet collectively 90% of their effort seems to be focused on how to stick it to the other party. The ultimate search engine would understand exactly what you mean and give back exactly what you want. Generally, health is just so heavily regulated. It's just a painful business to be in. It's just not necessarily how I want to spend my time. I had no dreams of such economic success. You should have fun and not be so weighed down by expectations. Some say Google is God. Others say Google is Satan. But if they think Google is too powerful, remember that with search engines, unlike other companies, all it takes is a single click to go to another search engine. As we go forward, I hope we're going to continue to use technology to make really big differences in how people live and work. If you had all the world's information directly attached to your brain, or an artificial brain that was smarter than your brain, you'd be better off. It is easier to make progress on mega-ambitious dreams. Since no one else is crazy enough to do it, you have little competition. Basically, our goal is to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. You always hear the phrase, "Money doesn't buy you happiness." But I always in the back of my mind figured a lot of money will buy you a little bit of happiness. But it's not really true. I got a new car because the old one's lease expired. The revolution in deep nets has been very profound. It definitely surprised me, even though I was sitting right there. Have a healthy disregard for the impossible. I would like to see anyone be able to achieve their dreams, and that's what this organization does. You never lose a dream, it just incubates as a hobby. We will make machines that can reason, think and do things better than we can. We wouldn't survive if people didn't trust us. I feel there's an existential angst among young people. I didn't have that. They see enormous mountains where I only saw one little hill to climb. You don't need to have a 100-person company to develop that idea. Sometimes it's important to wake up and stop dreaming. When a really great dream shows up, grab it. It's quite complicated and sounds circular, but we've worked out a way of calculating a website's importance. To me, this is about preserving history and making it available to everyone.